Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sweet Spot. I'm Dr. Sweet, and it's Self Care Saturday. As you know, all week we've been dealing with the power of momentum, how those small, consistent actions can build up and carry us forward. But here's the thing, we get caught up with momentum as constantly pushing hard all the time and moving forward. But momentum is also about knowing when to pause, when to take a breath, when to take care of ourselves so that we can keep that momentum going strong. Think of it like this. You can't keep speeding down the highway without stopping for gas at some point, right? So self-care is a bit like that. We have to take a moment to refuel. Take the pit stop that keeps the momentum going. And sometimes the strongest move we can make is to slow down and give ourselves the grace that we need by caring for ourselves. Author John Steinbeck put it this way, and now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. Letting go of perfection, that need we have to be perfect, it's not about slowing down our progress. It's about setting ourselves free to keep moving forward with confidence, even if we make a mistake, even if we're not perfect. It's about recognizing that we already have enough in us, enough to overcome whatever setbacks, obstacles, or hurdles stand in our way. That's what self-care is about ultimately. It's not about being flawless. It's about being kind to ourselves, being gentle with ourselves, showing ourselves compassion, which many of us fail to do because we're so hypercritical. We all stumble. We all make mistakes. But here's the real deal. Every time we show ourselves a bit of compassion in those moments, we are fueling a force inside of us that few of us ever say out loud. And you know what that force is? Of course you do, because we've been talking about it all week. That's the force of momentum. You're giving yourself momentum when you show yourself compassion. When you forgive yourself, you are giving yourself the energy to get back up and keep moving. And that's what momentum is about. It's about the ability to keep moving. But the key is that we have to refuel. We have to love ourselves enough to give ourselves the recovery time. As author Oscar Wilde once said, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. That's the foundation of everything. Because you see, the longest and most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself. When we trust and love ourselves, that creates a ripple effect. We can then use that momentum of self-love to become unstoppable about empowering and helping and uplifting others because we have it for ourselves. Of all the judgments we pass in life, says this author, Nathaniel Branden, of all the judgments we pass in life, none is more important than the judgment we pass on ourselves. If we're constantly doubting and tearing ourselves down in our minds, guess what? We're putting the brakes on, you know what? Momentum. And today, I am challenging you to choose self-compassion. Be one of the kind of people who builds yourself up and doesn't tear yourself down. And in so doing, you create momentum for yourselves. Here's the thing. Self-love isn't selfish. It's strategic. As Wayne Dyer said, if you don't love yourself, nobody will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anybody else. Because loving starts with the self. When you take care of yourself, you're not just filling your own cup. You're making sure that the energy is there and available to you to pour into everything else you do with love. Okay, my friend, so this is the challenge today. Embrace your imperfections. Okay? Accept yourself as you are and work towards the things that you most desire with a sense of self-awareness and the ability to forgive yourself, to get back up, correct mistakes, and keep it moving. Oh yeah, that's what self-care is about. It's not just about pausing, it's about sustaining your momentum because you're recovering parts of yourself that you need to keep going forward. You, my friend, are magnificent beyond measure. You're perfect in your imperfections. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. So the challenge is not to be perfect, it's to be whole. So take this self-care Saturday moment to love yourself, to accept yourself where you are, and trust that this will move you forward with your momentum. All right, now, this is Dr. Sweet. Be gentle, be kind, love yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow for Slow Down Sunday. Be blessed.